Được phát hiện từ năm 1947 tại Mỹ, cho đến nay, công nghệ khai thác dầu đá phiến liên tục được cải tiến, từ đó thúc đẩy sản lượng dầu do Mỹ sản xuất lên đến hơn 9 triệu thùng một ngày. Để khai thác dầu, người ta bơm nước và dung dịch khai thác xuống giếng khoan với sức ép lớn nhằm tạo ra các vết nứt trên các tầng đá phiến. Sau đó tập trung vào dầu và khí vào các giếng lọc. Nguồn nước sau khi khai thác sẽ được xử lý theo các tiêu chuẩn về môi trường tại Mỹ. Ngành công nghiệp xử lý nước sau lọc dầu hiện đang được xem là một lĩnh vực kinh doanh đầy tiềm năng khi chi phí vận chuyển và xử lý nước thải sẽ chiếm đến 66% tổng chi phí quản lý về nước, trong khi chi phí cho xử lý chỉ chiếm 2%. Trong khi đó, nhu cầu xử lý nước thải sau trích xuất dầu đá phiến có thể đạt 6,7 tỷ đô la Mỹ trong năm 2017, một phần là do tăng trưởng trong ngành và khai thác mỏ. Trung tâm khuyến khích đầu tư Great Southwest tại Austin, Texas hiện đang thu hút nhiều nhà đầu tư từ khắp nơi trên thế giới để xây dựng các giếng xử lý nước sau khai thác dầu. Đồng thời thu nhập từ việc lọc dầu cũng chiếm gần 40% doanh thu của dự án. Để tìm hiểu rõ hơn về ngành công nghiệp xử lý nước thải sau lọc dầu, xin mời quý vị cùng theo dõi phần trao đổi ngay sau đây.
Chào mừng quý vị đang đến với chương trình Đồng tiền thông minh. Thưa quý vị, từ giữa năm 2014 đến nay thì giá dầu trên thế giới đã giảm còn chưa đầy phân nửa và gây ra những tác động hết sức to lớn tới nền kinh tế toàn cầu. Và ngày hôm nay thì chúng ta sẽ thảo luận về một loại công nghệ trong việc đã làm giảm giá dầu của thế giới. Cụ thể là công nghệ khai thác dầu đá phiến và những cái công nghệ xử lý nước thải từ cái việc khai thác dầu đá phiến. Và chúng tôi sẽ trò chuyện với một vị khách mời hết sức đặc biệt của ngày hôm nay, đó là ông Winston Berrie, là giám đốc trung tâm phát triển vùng Tây Nam của khu Austin, Texas của Mỹ. Hello, Mr. Winston Berrie, how are you today?
Very good, Trent.
It's very good to have you on the show today. We appreciate it. And today we'll talk about the technology that has changed the energy picture of the United States from the scarcity to abundance. And we know that the oil price has dropped since 2014, and it's caused a little bit of chaotic in the world's economy. And one of the technology that responsible for the reduce of the oil price would be the hydraulic fracturing technology that create oil from the shale rocks or the other rocks formation. So basically, can you share with us a little bit about the technology, the hydraulic fracturing technology?
Well, hydrofracking has been around since 1862, since the American Civil War,
Yes.
when it was discovered at the Battle of Williamsburg, Pennsylvania. There was a Mr. Roberts who, at the battlefield, discovered when you clearing a tunnel, he saw that the fracturing of the rock, and he applied that same technology and patented it to shooting torpedoes down wells to fracture the rock to increase the production of water and oil. And so the technology has been around many years, but we've seen changes in it.
Okay, we will talk more about the hydrofracturing later, but after we extract the oil, then it will create the waste, right? So is there any technology to treat the waste disposal?
Yes, when you produce oil, every barrel of oil and gas produced in Texas produces approximately 10 barrels of wastewater, because hydraulic is water fracturing of the rock. And that water, when it comes back, or the flow back, has mineral contents from the strata that it was extracted from, and that has to be disposed of properly because of the high salt content. The traditional method for disposing of the water is through saltwater disposal wells. This water is called salt water.
Yes.
Disposal wells or injection wells, where the water is drilled to depths of 3,000 to 4,000 meters.
And like you said, the fracking technology has been introduced many decades ago, but why is it become more and more popular now?
Well, the real changes happened with drilling technology. About 1967, that really, the changes started with Standard Oil. And then a few years later, around 2009, lateral drilling became more popular, and the methods by which they were injecting liquid into these laterally drilled wells to fracture the rock and to hold it apart so that the oil and gas that were trapped in the rock could migrate to the fluid that was injected and then be extracted. So it's really a combination of drilling technology and the technology associated with fracking.
But how is it compared to the other conventional, oil fracking?
A conventional well, what you would do is you would drill straight down, and there would be a formation that would hold the oil and the gas. And then, so you go straight into that, and then the oil and the gas would be pumped out of that formation. Especially with the lateral drilling, you drill straight down into the rock formation, and then the drill goes horizontally into the formation. And then at that long stretch, that is where the injection holes are in the pipe that inject the water and fluids into the rock formation and frack it or break it apart.
Okay, so that we know that the world population is increasing more and more, and is it because that we exploit too much about the conventional oil production, so that now there is a shift to the hydro fracking, that we can get oil from the shale rock?
When oil was well over $100, this spurred people look for alternative sources for production of oil. Hydrofracking was funded by that to a great extent. And as the technology increased, the price for fracking reduced, so it became competitive with traditional drilling costs. The original cost for fracking was much higher without the introduction of the lateral drilling and different injection fluids to extract the water from the oil and gas from the rock. The price would still be very high. In fact, this technology is changing so quickly that they equate it almost to like the computer chip, that it's every 2 years they're finding new technology which will increase the potential for fracking.
Okay, that's good, but how about the concern about the environment? Because there's a global concerns over the environmental problem and issues.
The Environmental Protection Agency, I think it was in 1962, did a study on hydrofracking, and they found that it did not cause any problems to the environment. Part of it also is the careful monitoring of the fracking wells and the disposal wells alike to ensure that they meet strict environmental concerns for the protection of the groundwater.
So you say that the salt water is created from the process of hydrofracking. So is there any good technology that's responsible for the disposal treatment?
Well, the main technology, as I mentioned earlier, is through injection wells, which are carefully monitored. The wells are drilled, they're encased in cement, they're monitored for the source of the water, the amount of water that is put down into the well, and the formation that it goes into. So this is very, very closely monitored and is the only method currently approved by the EPA.
After we treat the waste, the salt water, the water would be reused, or goes back into the earth?
The traditional method is what you do. The water is either piped or trucked from the producing wells to the saltwater disposal facility. One disposal facility may serve 10 to 12 wells within a region of maybe 50 miles where they produce the oil. That water has been separated from the oil and gas. That water contains the minerals, salt, and about 1% of oil. We extract that tiny bit of oil that's left, we resell that, and that wastewater traditionally is injected into the ground in the disposal well.
Okay, so this is where another new technology come to place to make use of the water after you extract the oil and the minerals out of the salt water.
Yes, this is a new technology that we are working on, where we, through ceramic filters and other methods, we clean the water. We take out the minerals that are in the water. We separate the salt, and the salt can be sold, and then that water can either be re-injected into the ground, or it can be used for, it can be evaporated, or what it will do is also use it for irrigation purposes.
Okay, that's good. And then we'll talk more about the investments and the interest of the investors in this kind of projects in the next part of the show. Thank you very much,
All right,
Mr.
thank you very
Winston.
much.
Thưa quý vị, chúng tôi đang trò chuyện với ông Winston Berrie là giám đốc Trung tâm Phát triển vùng Tây Nam Austin, Texas của Mỹ về công nghệ mới trong việc khai thác dầu đá phiến, và chúng tôi sẽ còn tiếp tục chương trình trong phần tiếp theo.